What's going on today, guys? Today I'm going to be starting this series of world history. For the sake of this series, I'm going to be starting after Noah's flood because that's where the most history is recorded. And I'm going to be using the timestamp AM. It is short for Anno Mundi in Hebrew. It means the creation of the world. It accounts for the years after the world was initially created. So you won't be seeing BC or BCE or CE or 80 or anything like that. But for you guys who do want to know how to kind of talk about AM versus BC, 1 AM is 4010 BC, and BC counts down, so 4010, 4009, 1 versus 2. There it is for you guys. I use the AM timestamp simply because it's easier to kind of see something that progresses through time consistently and is not broken between 2 centuries, if that makes sense. So, without further ado, let's dive in. The rebirth of the world. So, after the Most High decided to destroy the world with the flood, he chose Noah's family to give birth back to the world. And Noah had 3 sons. He had Shem, Cham, and Japheth. These 3 would eventually give birth back to the world after they fled and took their inheritance. But today we're going to be starting with Cham. Who was Cham? He was the second son of Noah, and he's known to be the father of the dark races. Cham was born in 1209 AM, roughly 2418 BC, 99 years before the flood actually happened. He was married to a woman not Amalek. Good luck pronouncing that correctly. And he had 4 sons: Cush, Mizraim, Phut, and Canaan. And everyone knows Canaan because he was cursed thanks to his father. In 1321 AM, Noah got really wasted one night after the flood, and Cham finds him drunk in his tent. And there's some speculations on exactly what happened when Cham came across his father. Some say he sodomized his father, which is another way of saying he raped his father. Some speculate that he castrated him, which means that Noah would never be able to have a 4th son, and so Noah cursed Cham's 4th son since he would never have one. And some believe he took his mother to bed. And the reason why some believe that is because later in the Bible, specifically in Proverbs and Exodus, it's said that your father's wife is your father's nakedness. So if you just see your mother naked, you're still seeing your father's nakedness. So that could be another thing that happened. But all in all, Canaan was cursed to be a servant of his father's brothers. So he would be a servant of Shem and Japheth for the rest of his life. Due to the curse, Cham leaves Mount Arut and forms his own city that he named after his wife. So, after that, in about 1526 AM, that's when the children of Noah started to spread out and take their inheritance. So this map is going to represent where all the children of Noah were in 1569 after they all settled into their inheritance. So Shem was given everything east of the Nile and north of the Red Sea. So you can see exactly where he settled in over here to the east. Cham was given everything west of the Nile, so he pretty much got all of Africa. And Japheth was giving everything north of the Nile and to the east of the mountains. So he got everything as far as like Europe and Asia. So he became the father of all the European nations and Asian nations. And I'm going to draw a quick line to kind of show you exactly where Cham was supposed to be. And this is where he was in this time period. A lot of his sons had gone into Shem's territory during this time due to one of Cham's sons, Nimrod. So, Nimrod is the son of Cush, who was the son of Cham. So he's actually Cham's grandson. And this guy was actually trying to become the first king of all the world. He built a nation called Shinar. This nation ruled pretty much all of the regions that the sons of Noah were in. But in 1629, the nation fell for various reasons. So, let's talk about the fall of the Shinar kingdom. Between 1569 and 1639, Nimrod ruled the Shinar kingdom. So what it was a kingdom that wanted to bring all of Noah's sons together into one nation, since they still all spoke the same tongue at this time period. Nimrod later builds the Tower of Babel, which was viewed as a sin to God, because the Tower of Babel was the humans' attempt to become as great as God. So what they were doing was building a tower that reached the heavens. All the story of the Tower of Babel was actually written in the book of Joshua, and we'll get into that another time. But in 1639, the Tower of Babel was fell, and the nations were split, and their tongues were profound. So basically, the Most High's angel came down and destroyed the Tower of Babel, and then profounded the tongues of the languages. Cham and his children later fall back into their own inheritance west of the Nile. So the Shinar kingdom was actually the fastest falling kingdom in history, because you gotta understand what it's like for the tongues of a nation to be completely profound all at once. So I'll give you a quick illustration to kind of help you understand what that's like. So imagine you, your brothers, and a few of your friends are all building a house, right? And you're about almost finished with this house. You're getting down to the last few things you have to do. You're about to raise the walls, get everything done, but you want to get the frame completely done first. So you're knocking in a few nails, and you tell your brother, hey, pass me the hammer so I can knock in these nails so we can be done with this frame. And instead of handing you the hammer, your brother throws a brick upside your head, right? And then so now you're angry, you're on the ground, and you're trying to understand why he threw the brick upside your head, and you asking why, and he starts throwing the hammer at you. And you don't know what's going on because he's saying something to you, and you can't quite understand what he's trying to say. You're hearing all things kind of stuff about bricks, hammers, things that have nothing to do with his wife and things of that nature. And then you look over to where your friends and the other brothers are, and you start to notice that they're over there fighting too. You can only understand your immediate family. So you kind of gravitate over there to them. And that's pretty much what happened in the fall of the Shinar kingdom. Now, after Cham and his children started going west to take into their inheritance, you had Mitzrayim settling out in Egypt, Phut took over Liberia, and Cush founded the Ethiopians. Canaan, on their way west to the Nile River to go to their inheritance, actually stopped somewhere to the east of the Red Sea. And there is where he decided to settle. And also where he got his second curse. So Canaan actually had two curses. The first one was to be a servant to Cham and Japheth. And the second one, if you know anything about the history of Canaan, you know exactly what happened to him. And this is exactly why it happened, because he settled east of the Red Sea when he was supposed to go west. So I'm going to draw a few lines for you guys to kind of see exactly where everyone went in Cham's household. So you see on the right side towards the east, Canaan actually settled here east of the Red Sea. Now Cush, it says on here that he's east of the Nile, but he actually probably settled somewhere here to the west of the Nile. You got Mitzrayim founding Egypt north, right underneath the Mediterranean Sea, and Phut even going farther west into Africa, founding Liberia. And that's pretty much where all of Cham's children settled. Now let's talk about the second curse of Canaan. Canaan was first cursed because of what Cham did, which made him a servant of Japheth and Shem. Now, the thing that Canaan did to get himself cursed was after Shinar fell and the children went into their inheritance, he decided to stay east of the Red Sea, which was not his inheritance. His brothers warned him that if he did so, he would be rooted out of the earth. But he still did it anyway. And like I said, if you know anything about the history of Canaan, you know that he was rooted about the earth eventually. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Next week we'll talk about what happened to Japheth and his children initially after they left Mount Arut, and then what happened after Nimrod fell. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments. As always, leave a like if you like the video, subscribe for more content. See you guys next time.